Hi, good morning, and welcome to the Sidebar with Gary Barton. I, of course, am your host, Gary Barton. Today, we're going to be talking about what to do when you get pulled over and you've been drinking. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of the Sidebar with Gary Barton. I, of course, am your host, Gary Barton. Today, let's talk about what to do when you get pulled over and you've been drinking. Newsflash, if you have been drinking and you get pulled over, statistically, you're going to jail. That is not going to change regardless of how savvy or suave you think you might be, or girls, how much crying you think you can do with an officer. Things have changed. Officers will arrest you the moment that they smell alcohol. And that is very indicative of what's likely to happen when you get pulled over. So, don't make it easy for them to go forward and convict you. There's a big difference between getting arrested and convicted of a DWI. So simply getting pulled over, let's say you're speeding or you're swerving on the road and you've had a couple drinks. When an officer comes up to you and starts asking you those preliminary questions, where have you been? Where are you going? And have you been drinking tonight? Do you honestly think it's going to assist you if you answer those questions truthfully? The answer is absolutely not. Those questions are going to lead to your detriment and then ultimately lead to a conviction on your record that will follow you and possibly haunt you the rest of your life. So do not make it easy when an officer pulls you over. Make it difficult later on down the road for a savvy prosecutor to attempt to convict you. And here's the key, without any real evidence. Let's talk about what that evidence is. When an officer pulls you over, they are trying to ask you preliminary questions to establish a base to go forward and start an investigation for a DWI. The evidence in a DWI are those monkey tests they make you do on the side of the road, also known as field sobriety tests. Field sobriety tests are designed to make you look like you're impaired. And so why would you submit to field sobriety tests if you know the odds are already stacked against you? And oh, by the way, this is the only real piece of evidence that they might have in order to go forward and convict me later on down the road. Guess what? You can refuse to do the field sobriety test. Refuse them. They will not assist you in any way, despite the officer trying to be your buddy and tell you, hey, guess what? If you do these field sobriety tests and you do well, I'll go ahead and let you go. That is a lie. He will not let you go. The moment they start putting you through those field sobriety tests, you are already under investigation for a DWI. And regardless if you do them, you don't do them, you're going to get arrested and go to jail. And so don't make it easy. Do not participate in these field sobriety tests. That takes away a lot of the physical evidence in a DWI. Every test that you perform on camera will end up being to your detriment later on down the road. So what's going to happen if I refuse a field sobriety test? You're going to get arrested. Who cares? You are going to get arrested no matter what. Take it like a man, put the cuffs on, go to jail, and then come out and let's fight this thing. And so what's likely going to happen is an officer will draw up some sort of BS warrant that's based on his articulable facts to tell a judge, I think this guy is probably under the influence of alcohol while he's driving, so therefore I want a warrant in order to procure his blood out of his body. And what that will do is inherently create a buffer between you and a conviction. When these officers are drawing up these warrants, guess what? They're not going there and saying, hey, John Smith, I pulled you over for this reason, this reason, this reason. I smelt this. You told me this. You told me that. No. They are in a haste. They think that any second that they're not getting your blood out of your system is going to end up letting you walk with a not guilty. So what they're going to do is they're going to go back to the computer for the 2 hours prior the other guy that they just arrested, go to that affidavit that allows them to procure a warrant and change it up real quick. Oh, let me take out Gary Barton's name and put John Smith here. Let me go ahead and put his date of birth here instead of Gary Barton's. That's what these guys do. They're not generating a brand new warrant in order to articulate your particular set of facts. It's all boilerplate. And it's all something that they just copy and paste from the last guy and hope that it works moving forward. Now, it probably will in order to get your blood. And so that's where we end up fighting most DWIs is on those blood warrant cases. And what we do is we try to discredit either the lab that's performing the test, either the coolers that are actually storing the blood vials, or maybe a chain of custody issue going forward. But guess what? If all they have is some sort of blood analysis and that's it, without the field sobriety test, the physical evidence to show that you might be intoxicated on camera, it's going to be very difficult for them to move forward and actually procure a conviction against you. So remember, you get pulled over and you've been drinking, you're going to jail. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, don't make it easy on an officer when they have an investigation that they're already predetermined to arrest you for that DWI. Make it as difficult as possible so that way we can put buffers between you and a conviction and hopefully get you off like we have several thousands of other clients of ours. When you're in that position, call us and we'll be happy to help you out. 210-5 if you're in the San Antonio area, 512 The Firm if you're in the Austin area, and we'll go to bat for you in order to make sure that you don't wind up with a conviction on your record that will haunt you for the rest of your life. This is Barton Associates, Attorneys at Law. I'm Gary Barton with the Sidebar. Click, subscribe, follow us, and tune in for the next episode where we're going to be covering a wide range of legal topics. Thanks.